What I'm going to show you in this video is how I go about plumbing this LINK fuel pressure sensor into this S15 SILVIA fuel rail. Now, the fuel rail is made by Radium Engineering. It's a really trick part, and it has this O-ring port in it, and we're not using it. So I'm going to use that as a really good source to monitor fuel pressure. Here are a few of the ingredients for this install. You've got some braided hose from XRP. This is an ORB plug that I'm going to drill and tap for our pressure reference. Some miscellaneous fittings. I'm not sure if I'm going to use 45s, 90s, or what. And this is an 8th MPT to -3 adapter that I'm going to thread directly onto this LINK pressure sensor. Alright, let's get out in the shop. Alright, we're out in the shop here, and one of the first things that we got to do is remove the plug that's already in the fuel rail. It is a hex plug port, and that is not going to work for us, and I'll show you why here. Get this thing out of here. So I removed this plug here, right? Which is like a hex port plug. Can't really see it. There you go. I removed that in favor of this plug, which I'm going to drill and tap for 8th MPT so I can put this adapter in it. Check that out. So I got my fitting chucked up in the 3-jaw there, nice and simple. First thing I'm going to do is use a center drill bit, which is just a short stubby drill bit used to get the center of the part. Then I'm going to swap it out for the regular style drill bit, which is the proper size for threading 8th MPT, which I believe is a Q bit. Next, I'm going to put the 8th MPT tap directly into the drill chuck, and I'm going to bump the lathe over as I just kind of like hand press the tap directly into the bit, and I just let it draw itself in. It's a really trick way of doing this. You just have to be kind of careful, but it really does the work for you. It's pretty awesome. You'll notice I put a little bit of tapping oil on it first, and yep, just bump it over little by little, and that's the way to do it. Trying to reverse the tap out could cause some pretty serious damage, so I just take it out of the drill chuck and I remove it manually with just a wrench. Pretty straightforward, and this assures that I don't tear the threads up trying to back it out at the proper speed. Before I get too cocky, I just want to double check that and make sure it threads in. Yeah, we're good. Here's the finished product right here. Everything's looking good, and what I'm going to show you right here is that before I took the fitting out of the rail, I marked the orientation that I needed the -3 fitting to point. So I make sure it's pointing in the right direction, make sure I tighten it the right amount. That'll save you some time of taking it on and off numerous times. Just about ready to install it. I've got some oil on the O-ring, and I put some Teflon paste on the pipe threads there. Alright, I've got my fitting in here. 90 degree, pointing down, and then I decided to mount my sensor right here, which is neatly kind of hidden under the throttle body, but you can still get to the connector, which is convenient. Now I just got to make this line from here to here. I'm going to use a straight on one end and a 90 on the other end. I already got this end done while you weren't looking. This is a pretty trick little tool that I picked up quite a few years ago, and I'll show you what it does. So we use it to round out the inside of the hose after you cut it. It might have a little burr in it, or it might not be perfectly round. This thing kind of helps with that. Get it nice and round so you can put your fitting inside. So with these, I found that a tiny bit of oil on the barbs really helps these things go together, because they can be super tough to maneuver together, sometimes easier than others. Alright, I'm putting my hose with the uncrimped fitting in the dies and assembling the crimping machine. I'll probably go into this in another video to show you all this a little more in detail. Alright, with our hose all crimped together, we are ready for install. And that's it. She is fully installed. We're reading fuel pressure right off the rail. The hose is routed in a manner that it doesn't come in contact with anything, so we don't have to bother tethering it or anything else. A couple more things bolted on and this thing's ready for the dyno.